Hey. So, we're back. Oh my God. I cannot explain what the fuck just happened in the last video. The last live stream, my camera just cut out. It just cut out. I lost my mic. I lost the camera. It's never done that before. And I don't know why it would start now. We were in the middle of Garçon and their secret code name reading. And I was like, let me know if y'all can hear me. Like, let me know in the comments, like anything. And I was like getting no response. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I went into my camera settings. And as soon as I opened my camera settings, it registered that my camera was working and my camera flicked on. But as soon as I went back into YouTube, my camera cut right back off. And I was just like, this makes no sense. Makes no sense. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But we're back. And hopefully it doesn't do that shit again. Now, where we were at with Garçon. And we will pick up where we left off. I highly recommend, if you are catching this part 2, that you do go back and rewatch the intro to part 1 before I got into the cosmic currency, because there are some things coming with the channel for next year that you will probably want to know, okay, with everything that is going on next year. But we're going to continue with Garçon. So the last thing that my camera picked up is I was talking about this energy, right? This person, this feminine energy, although to be fair, it could be a high feminine energy, but not necessarily a female gender. And I said, I'm saying she, but they. So it may be a male, especially because Garçon is a male in service, right? A servant who is male. So this may be a dude, right? It may be a dude who has jealousy issues, who maybe knows a lot of things about you and doesn't want you moving on to someone else. Like it could be that. It definitely could potentially give some serious witch vibes too. I started pulling the cards from the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. That is the tarot we are getting the insight from. And I got the Hierophant out twice now. And I've got the Queen of Wands out twice now. With the King of Wands, okay, and a King of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's definitely some interesting polarity with masculine and feminine energy that I'm kind of getting off this person. I feel like whoever this is that we're talking about, and we brought up a couple signs. We brought up Taurus, we brought up Sag, we brought up Gemini, we brought up Pisces, right? Taurus, Sag, Gemini, Pisces. And that continues. That continues with these cards. I've also got some interesting Leo energy. So you or them might have it in your charts, or it may be what is highlighted in your synastry, or what is going on in the current cosmos, right, in regards to your synastry with them. But I feel like someone doesn't want to see you move on from or outgrow them, or they don't want you to be more successful or more at peace than them. They would prefer to have it with you and be within their control. Like they're happy when your dynamic ship with them, they are in control. And that includes by knowing your secrets. That includes by knowing certain things about you, or having certain things over you that if they were to ever expose it, you know what I mean? Like you would probably feel some type of way about it, because this person would be sabotaging. And if they feel slighted by you and they validate themselves, like they really don't care if it hurts you. even if you never hurt them or intended to hurt them ever, and you genuinely cared about them, right? You're dealing with an individual who is jealous and selfish and feels as if the higher power that is, God, source, whatever you want to call it, has abandoned them, or they believe they are outside of the realm of karma because they don't believe in karma. And they just act on their quote unquote wicked impulses when they no longer feel valuable to you or the situation, right? If you were to outgrow them, if you chose secret code name Garçon, I would go back and rewatch the beginning of your message in part 1 and flash back here. Because you're dealing with a serious adversary, whether you realize it or not. This person could even be under the guise of standing up for you or wanting what's in your highest good. But where I got cut off was expressing that they are a teacher through sadness. They wield sadness against other people and create sadness in other people in order to teach them through sadness. This person is deeply sad themselves with the 5 of Cups, and clarified by a King of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a serious inadequacy, is just what I'm picking up on. A serious inadequacy that they have, feeling not good enough, that you would choose something other than them or a path away from them. You desire a 10 of Cups, like emotionally fulfilled, dream realized kind of reality. And they do too, and they see it with you. You might not see them the same way, though. It's almost as if someone is friend zoned, whether, and it's weird, like they could even be like homosexual. Not that, you know, hold that against them, but like if you're like a female and they're a gay man, but you're their bestie and they're jealous of the guy you're moving towards or something, you know, because it's moving you away from them. Like it could even be something like that, you know what I mean? But they get really triggered when they don't feel good enough for you or the most valuable person, when they are not the most valuable person and in control with that value. Their sadness and their inadequacies in their psyche kind of take over, and they don't care who they burn, including you, you know, including you. However, or whoever this person is for you, I would just be mindful, because it could be A to Z as far as the relationship dynamic and what that is. But their demons will win out. Their demons will win out every time. And I feel like when this person is challenged by the King of Cups, someone who is emotionally deep, who is kind of the counterpart to your drive and desire and chemistry. When this person feels inadequate or not good enough, they do get extremely jealous of whoever it is that enters your life that has piqued your interest. And I would be really aware of that, because they don't exit people's lives mutually in peace. This is a person who burns every relationship on their way out. They can't just, you know, walk away respectfully and just accept that, you know, the time you spent together had its value and had its time, and now that time has passed, and we wish you nothing but the best, kind of, you know, mutual respect energy. They have a tendency to want to burn it on the way out. Like, oh, you're moving away from me. Good. Torch, you know, like, be like that, torch. And they go out with a bang instead of just letting it go on peacefully, you know. I think this person is rather stubborn. They might even come off arrogant or confident, when in reality, it is a mask for wild insecurity. Whatever confidence or arrogance they exude is a mask for wild insecurity, fears, and depression surrounding inadequacy. They will burn it on the way out. Because they feel like they should be treated as if they're the best. But they don't act in the best energy. They let their demons get the better of them every time. This person, they don't evolve. They blame. They do not self-reflect. They point the finger. They don't see their, what's the word? They don't see how their behavior and their choices create their reality. They don't see the consequence of their own actions. And they refuse to. I think ultimately you are going to end up moving away from said person, because I don't feel like this energy can persist. I believe they're like a ticking time bomb. It's just a matter of time before they torch it. And if you look at their past friendships or their past relationships, they probably have a history of that behavior. And you are not an exception. People are seasons for them. And not because of any other reason except their own mentality. They don't understand healthy boundaries. They don't respect path and purpose and rhyme and reason. I feel like this person's a little deluded on the power trip they try and obtain. So keep it in mind over the course of 2025. Because if you can have a sensing about who this is, or if you already know who it is, I would create distance sooner than later and maybe bite your tongue and not expose yourself and be vulnerable with them. I would keep them at a 10-foot pole distance. And I think the best way to do that is to maybe tackle your own fears of being inadequate or not enough that may be buried deep in your mirror, that were maybe taught to you that you were lacking in some way or not good enough for what it is that you want to manifest, or that what you want to manifest isn't possible for you. And so you have this kind of fallback person that's always there, but they're toxic. It's almost like, because overt narcissism is clear as day. But this person might be more of a covert narcissist. And they come off like the victim more often. And life happens to them and everybody hurts them and leaves them and it's never their fault. You know, they play that covert kind of control that makes you feel bad for them or want to be there for them more, but they know that playing that card gets them what they want more often than not. And when they feel like you're no longer buying it or feeding it, they burn it. Like you're of no use to them now. You're not feeding that hit of value and approval that they want. So I would be really mindful, because you might end up putting yourself in a situation with this person, especially if you do overexpose yourself and your vulnerabilities, that gives them that kind of power, you know, feeling like they would hold it over you, because they would hold it over you, and you might regret being vulnerable with this person. So secret code name Garçon. Keep your intuitive eye open. And just because you want to trust someone doesn't mean you can. You might have a very serious Chiron connection to them and are at risk of martyring yourself for them to try and heal them and make them feel valued, only to end up having to betray them in order to heal, in order for them to heal. And it's an unavoidable contract and lesson that you guys have with each other in this life. You might have a serious Chiron connection, and they're going to come off like they did so much for you and they were there for you, and this is how you treat them now and what you did to them, and half of it is fabricated or twisted and manipulated in some way. Omissions, right? Leaving certain things out. It's definitely giving this dramatics kind of theater act that they put on for the next victim, you know, the next victim of their unhealed wounds. So yeah, this person, I keep hearing that word wicked. Like hags in D&D, right? The mute hag, that card that came out. Hags are witches. They could even be like, if you want to get into some little bit of a rabbit hole, like they could have been someone in a past life, like a witch in a past life, who swore a vow to keep you trapped and hurt you or keep you from your highest good, and will go to extreme lengths to keep you from your highest manifestation. And that's the intention they set when they came into this life. And it could manifest itself in a lot of ways. like wicked. Maybe they like the movie. Maybe there's something to do with that. Maybe they're an Ariana Grande fan or some shit. Who the fuck knows? But there's some kind of reason why spirit keeps guiding me to that word. Maybe it has something to do with the storyline. Like metaphorically. You know, like the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy ending up in this kind of dream that is very real to her and needing to defeat the Wicked Witch, you know, and return home to herself. Now you'll have to let me know how that unfolds throughout the year, but especially over the course of the next month or so with this moon cycle. You know that saying, like, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? It's almost like you're their enemy, deemed an enemy from a past life, and they're keeping you real close, you know? Keeping themselves real close to you. I just don't like it. I don't think it's impossible for you to overcome this. Like, Dorothy wins out in the end, but... I don't feel like it's a comfortable cycle. Garçon. What's the guy's name? The villain in Beauty and the Beast. What's his name? Is it Garçon? Hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid. How you doing? Yeah, it reminds me of that energy. Like if Gaston, that's close too. And I believe that takes place, Beauty and the Beast takes place in France, and Garçon is a French word. Gaston. Yeah, it kind of gives those vibes. Like Gaston came off wildly arrogant, but had serious fucking insecurities because he wanted Belle and couldn't have her. And when Belle started moving in the direction of the Beast, he was like, I can't fucking believe it. And made a fucking ass out of himself, like caused his downfall. And Belle lived happily ever after, but it's a fucking issue getting this person out of your energy. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. Flickering Shadow. Secret code name, Flickering Shadow. Okay. So the secret code name Flickering Shadow, I thought it was interesting because you know how when a candle is lit in a dark room, you can see the light kind of flickering with the flame. As the candle burns real high or bright, the room gets real light. And then as the candle has moments of, you know, less energy or it's dimmer, the shadows on the wall, you know, and the light kind of have this play. I was being drawn to the shadow part though. Like when the candle is not its brightest, the shadow grows. And it kind of gave me this vibe of like, When your light is really bright, it casts the shadows out. And when other people's light is challenged, their shadows grow, right? This kind of dance between light and darkness. And there's a flickering, right? And I was being specifically drawn to when the shadow grows, when the light is dim. And so it really is a call to be yourself in your best light, knowing that it may challenge other people to stay in theirs. And the more in your authenticity and your light that you are, the more other people will be challenged to stay in theirs and hold their own light around you, right? That your light may be perceived as the shadow that grows or triggers, right, in them. So let's see what the vibe is. For you with this grand finale. This grand finale energy going into the 2025 year. Hey, Story. I'm up late too. I always got moon insomnia. Are you kidding? I always got insomnia. I got myself a bunch of patches for my new bag, like this new purse that I got. And one of them says, crafts past midnight. I was like, so me. I get them fucking insomniatic zings. What is the vibe, please, Spirit? For secret coding, flickering shadow, moving forward. Thrills. Continuous cycles, bad decisions, or addictions. And potentially people who are stuck in them. Stuck in their continuous cycles, stuck in their bad decisions, or stuck in their addictions. Wounded feminine energy, right? Feminine energy is the receiver, and so they receive the experience that is not so great because of their bad decisions or their addictions to pain cycles, right? They don't know how to improve their decision making in order to improve their manifestation. What is the Harrow card tied to this? Hey, Kristen. How you doing? I bet. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day. I didn't even get live. Until after 8 o'clock. And then my camera fucking conked out in the middle of my last live, the part 1. there was not supposed to be a part 2, but there is. Crazy things today. So Thrills came out with the Forge. Thrills came out with the Forge. It's Hephaestus energy. Being drawn to the fire sprites. Little fire fairies. So the Forge. It's a lawful neutral card. The forge evokes strength through great diversity. The blacksmith represents those who can survive the 𝐚𝐵𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐵 trial by fire. But the forge's fire is so strong, it burns many to cinders instead. This card often represents a dangerous event that needs many sources of strength to overcome. This is kind of what I was talking about, like the fire, right? We were talking about the candlelight. Secret code name Flickering Shadows. We were talking about the secret code name and how there was this kind of dance of light and shadow. And when the fire dims, the shadows grow. And when the light grows, the shadows cease, right? And it's almost like this dance. I feel like you can survive the shadows of other people with your own light, right? The blacksmith represents those who can survive the 𝐚𝐵𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐵 trial by fire. But your light might be so bright that it literally burns others to cinders. They cannot cope with your authenticity. Your authenticity, it's almost like it pushes them out of your energetic field, right? Really strong energy. Really, it's not even January yet, is right. That's a crazy day. My prayers to your aunt. What's the 𝐏𝐫𝐫𝐿𝐵 card? What is the 𝐏𝐫𝐫𝐿𝐵 card? We got the star and the moon. The star and the moon. Like, people can't escape your light. They can't escape the healing, right? The purging that fire is tied to. Your authenticity is so strong. Oh, there's another card under there. Oh, how about that? It was stuck to the moon card. It's Justice. 3 major arcana. 3 major arcana. It is not your fault how bright you are. Like a star that shines even in the darkest night, your light can be seen. The moon reflecting their shadows back to them. And the justice that that brings. Really, what a fucking trigger you are. If people are stuck in those continuous cycles of making bad decisions, they have addictions to pain and suffering. When you enter their stratosphere of energy and are authentic the way that you are, they are forced to either shine super fucking bright or be snuffed out, so to speak, right? They cannot, if they cannot bring themselves up in their own energy, it's like they fall into that shadow. Like their shadow hardcore plays with them when you are around. And they either step up into the healing and they face their reflection. their feminine wounding. Or they don't. They either face it and they heal it, or they don't. And either way, it's justice served. I'm hearing the words divine archon. Like, what a role you play. What a role you play. Let's get some more insight into this, how this energy unfolds, what it looks like coming out of this new moon and into the new year. What does this look like? Especially toxic females, like women who just have not gotten their fucking shit together, spiritually speaking, like major. Women who love to drink their wine or whatever the fuck they do, who can't seem to get out of their psychic shit pile. You're more than a match in their darkness. You're a fucking forge blazing inside their darkness. Like, what? The light bringer. I got the Page of Wands. You shine light on the lies that people tell themselves. They cannot lie to themselves about you. They can lie to other people. They cannot lie to themselves. They fucking know it. They know it. They're not fooling you. And they can't even fool themselves. They can't even fool themselves. It's like they know they're in the wrong. Whether they admit it or not, they know they're in the wrong. And they know there's karma to pay for being in the wrong, even if they're in denial about it. I got the Page of Wands with the 10 of Wands. Check this shit out. It's a fucking blacksmith. That's you, the Page of Wands, the light bringer. That's what I heard when I saw that card. The 10 of Wands is clarifying that. You can create the sword of truth and justice that people can wield for themselves, or you can forge the blade that they cut themselves on. The sword being the truth, you know? The 6 of Wands, you're victorious. You are unscathed in all of this. 10 of Cups. Yeah, 10 of Cups on top. That 6 of Wands on bottom. You are victorious and completely unscathed. Look at her dancing. 2 fires in her hands. The light bringer. In a room where no one else wields light, she's wielding too. And dancing, right? We were talking about the dance. You are happy and you are content with your soulmate. No one is pulling you out of the high castle. And other people can try and take your light and bottle it. They can try and emulate it or fake it, but they can't. Like, they know they're a fucking liar. They know that they are not you. And that they can't fake genuine. They can't fake authenticity. They know they're lying to themselves. You force them to face the bullshit they feed themselves. They examine you and they're like, how can I take that light and be that? How can I be that great big flame to combat your great big flame? But they can't, because it's not genuine. It's not real. It's manipulative, right? They're trying to manipulate circumstance. It's almost like the more they try and throw themselves at you, they go out. I'm getting images of like the solar winds. It's almost like they're a candle pissed off at the sun, and they're trying to get close to the sun and saying, I burn bright too. I'm as bright as you. And the solar winds just, and the candle's out. Like, they can't lie to themselves. The candle's flame is not the fucking sun. Meeting you is justice for the energy work that people do or do not do. Because you would never do that. The sun would never go up to a candle and say, I'm bigger and brighter than you. The sun just simply shines, and it is what it is. The sun doesn't care about mocking a candle. You don't do things with malicious intent. That is not who you are. You do not compete with other people. Your energy is what it is. But they feel the need to compete with you and pretend that they're just as good or just as great and that you must be just like them. You can't be the sun. You're just pretending, and it's like, you're not, though. And you show them what they could, should, would be if they were just authentic and in their highest vibration. If they just allowed their own light to grow. And their light tries to compete with yours, but you are not competing with them. Yeah, the sun is not a chihuahua. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Really, they envy your authenticity so bad. They want to be authentic so bad. But they have no clue how to be authentic the way you do. And they don't have the humility and the humbleness to ask, how do you do it? What choices do you make that I could make for myself that are better? And apply the guidance. Like, they are so hung up on trying, right? That trying word, trying to be your equal, that their inequalities blare at them. You and them are not the same. It's not that they couldn't also be a shining star, right? A shining sun. They have the potential to be. Everybody does. But they are so hung up on trying to prove they are your equal, that what makes you so different from them and vice versa is blaringly obvious that you are not the same. They can try and come up 2 pegs and get knocked down 10 because they're not being real with themselves. They're lying to themselves, and your presence doesn't allow for it. and you're content. The scales of justice are balanced in that card. It's almost like I could see someone crying over how they don't fucking get it. They don't get it. Like, how come you get to be unbothered and live your 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 6 of Wands energy, and they don't? What makes you so different? What makes you so special? And someone asking themselves why and being upset about it, and they're not willing to actually look at the choices they make against the choices you make and compare, because you would never behave that way. You would never behave that way. Secret code name Flickering Shadow. What a fucking teacher. What a teacher. And it's effortless. Like, you don't even have to try. It's just your natural state of being where you are. Yeah, your light irritates their demons. Your light irritates their demons. There is no truer saying for that energy. Yeah, you did the work. They have not yet done it and or are not willing to do it. And that is the difference. They just haven't come to that realization yet. They will in due time, this life or the next. God damn. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Bright as fuck. Good for you. Good for you. What a grand finale indeed. All right. Moving on to secret code name Duchess. Secret code name Duchess. And the word, like, I simply, when Spirit gave me the secret code name, I just heard the word Duchess, clear as day. But if you think about a Duchess, it's like the Queen of England is the Queen of England. The Duchess of York is the Duchess of York. The Queen of England supersedes the Duchess. But the Duchess is not without respect or status. You know what I mean? It's just not quite the same. So I'm curious as to how that energy plays out in the reading. Because a Duchess can most certainly become a princess or a queen. Especially if they marry into the right energy. Right, the right family. So we'll see. We'll see. Spirit, what is the vibe? What is the overall standout vibe coming from this new moon in Capricorn? The strongest energy for secret code name Duchess and those who are drawn to it in beautiful divine time. What is the vibe? Harmony. Balance, peace, and happiness. We'll take that theme. All right. What is the Harrow card that complements it, please? Ooh, the Cyclone. Interesting combination of cards. Interesting combination of cards. That could be taken a few ways. Let me read the cyclone for you. It is a strength card. The cyclone is a chaotic evil aligned card. The cyclone is a force that tears through whatever it meets. This disaster does not come in the course of natural order, but is one that comes from the plots of intelligent beings. The cyclone signifies war, arson, and other plans that destroy everything they touch. So either you are the cyclone to the harmony of others, or someone is attempting to be the cyclone to destroy your own harmony, balance, peace, and happiness. You have a chaotic, evil energy in your midst. In D&D, chaotic, evil energies are connected to demons, right? Lawful evil is connected to devils, but chaotic evil is tied to demons. And they are evil because they get off on being evil and creating that fucking chaos, the tearing apart, right? The power trip that comes with that. What's the 𝐏𝐫𝐫 card? Insight. Further insight into that energy, please, Spirit. For secret code name Duchess. Interesting. We got the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, both reversed. This could be someone, and it doesn't have to be, but for someone, it's going to make a lot of fucking sense. Someone with a Pisces moon. Someone with a Pisces moon. And it definitely gives me bully energy. An emotional bully. Like someone who thrives off seeing you upset, right? The cyclone to your harmony, the cyclone to your peace or happiness is someone who thrives off seeing you upset. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. It could be family or work, but it could also be someone who wants to see you lose harmony with your family or harmony with your work. They want to see you sad. They want to see you suffer. They want to see you out of balance. Who is that? I feel drawn to pull from Kipper and the Naked Heart Tarot. Who is it? Spirit, who is it? Yeah, a thief. They walk the pathway of the thief. Someone you feel stole your path. someone you've had conflict or words with, the Five of Wands, and are no longer talking to the universe with the Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a thief. It's almost like they've tried to hook, line, and sinker, like anchor the path. Like they've taken your choices away. They've taken your ability to choose your path away. You know who this is. They are at psychic and spiritual war with you. They are not in your life as of present. And they absolutely stole your ability to choose. Left you in the dark. Insight into the situation, please, Spirit. For secret code name Duchess. How does this unfold with this new moon in Capricorn going into the new year? What the hell does this look like? What is the unfolding? Spirit, guide us, please. What is in our highest good to know? Yeah, the Four of Cups, the missed opportunity. A third-party energy. Knight of Swords. And the King of Pentacles. Clarities, please. Ten of Pentacles is out twice now. Yeah, you miss the Ten of Pentacles. That's the manifestation of the family or the manifestation of the dream over a third party. Ten of Swords, betrayal. Give me one more clarifier. What is the purpose in the King of Pentacles? Because the King of Pentacles is looking to the future, looking to the light. There's calla lilies growing on the card. The World reversed. Three of Pentacles, third-party contracts on the bottom. Nine of Cups on top. Your energy, look at this card. You see how there's like these little, like almost like petals of energy kind of floating through and out the window? The King of Pentacles is looking at the petals, right? Coming in, looking at that same energy coming in. Calla lilies. They're a funeral flower. So that could be two things. It could be literal, where there is quite literally a funeral, which causes things to reopen because the World card is in reverse, or it's not over yet. And the King of Pentacles is looking to the light of something that is seemingly over, but is not over. Because your energy is still very much around this person. This person against you sends psychic daggers to your mind. Whether you receive them or not is besides the point. Because this Ten of Swords, the light of the individual is underwater. You can see there's the surface of the water up here, the ripples of the water on top, and this person is underneath in the water. And swords are mental. It comes out with the Knight of Swords. It's almost like someone is trying to throw daggers into your psyche, make you believe or think or speak certain words inside your head like it's over when it's not. Like trying to force yourself to believe that something is done. It's not over. The world is in reverse. Also popular for weddings. Interesting story. Interesting. Calla lilies are also on the Magician card. The Magician card wields roses and calla lilies. And the calla lily is a shadow, right? If it's a wedding, that's the calla lily right there. You can see it. And it's in shadow, and yet all of these petals are light. Makes me wonder if the third-party contract is a literal physical contract, like a marriage. But it's a marriage in shadow, like the third party. You are in the light, right? The highest level of the castle. And the King of Pentacles, it's almost like they're down below in the darkest room. And yet you're in the same castle. It's just you've taken steps to get up to where you are. And they haven't gotten off the throne yet. You're floating above a courtyard. You don't even realize, or maybe they don't even realize how close you guys actually are, and yet it seems out of reach. I don't know when this cycle with the third party truly ends, whether it's in this life or the next, I don't know. But they cannot steal your path from you forever. At some point, you and said person, like, they cannot truly steal your path. It is yours. It's not theirs, and they will at some point be forced onto their own path. Even if the divine has to intervene at an extreme level, if you catch my drift. Like, you guys will continue to reincarnate to and for each other. Because it cannot truly be stolen from you. You are meant for a certain person. And that person is meant for you. And that this third person cannot pretend to fill your shoes and your energy. Let's get nosy. Let's look at the bottom. It's underneath this 3 of Pentacles. The Page of Swords in a library. The Akashic Library, the King of Cups. The 6 of Swords. You've done this before. This person's tried to steal your path before, but the King of Cups moves forward. 6 of Swords, Ace of Wands, Merlin like magic. Moves forward. The Knight of Pentacles is moving forward on the path of light. And the Tower hits. Queen of Pentacles is there. That's the counterpart to the King of Pentacles. And the Emperor takes place. The Knight of Cups takes place. The Chariot takes place. The High Priestess takes place. Page of Wands, the light comes in. The Queen of Swords is holding a quill and writing by candlelight the story in the book. A story of breaking curses. Yeah, the devil gets tempered out. 4 of Wands. You chose a path of high spiritual learning with your soulmate in the mirror. The 6 of Cups is in the mirror. Ace of Cups. Celebration. The Sun. I think this life will surprise you. I think this upcoming year is going to offer you a lot of revelation in regards to the soul story that you've been living out. Because if you think you're at the end of the book, I think what you're going to realize is you're more in the middle. Like thinking you're at the end of the book and then discovering that there's a part 2. Right? Even how this live, we thought it was, you know, going to be one whole live, but it ended up having a part 2. It's kind of how I see it. Like not realizing that this life is going to yield a part 2. After the grand finale of the first quote unquote book. The cliffhanger, right, of the first book. Where the ending, you know, it's like reading a book and being mad at the ending. Like, how could it possibly end that way? How could it end that way? And being mad at the story because it ended a certain way. And it's like, what a tragedy. You know, you were hoping for the happy ending and it ended up being a tragedy, only to realize there was a part 2. And the happy ending is at the end of part 2. It's like someone tried to trick you into thinking this was the way it was supposed to be, when there's more to it. Yeah, there's library shelves in this card as well, the 3 of Pentacles. Like someone tried to burn the book. But it's like, you know how to write though, and you've played the victory, the happily ever after ending so many times and read it so many times that you can rewrite it from memory. It doesn't matter if they burn it. It doesn't matter if they steal the story out of the library and burn it and say, see, that story, that happy story doesn't exist. And you're like, I know this story. I know it was meant to be written. And you write it from memory. And so it's rewritten. Like they can't destroy the book when your soul knows the ending. I hope this reading gives you more reprieve and peace in, quote unquote, the justice of part 2. Whenever that is. Knowing that the book doesn't end where you thought it did. You'll have to keep me posted how this unfolds, especially after this new moon, like the month or two after this moon and throughout 2025, because I feel like a lot of shit is going to change. I feel like a lot of things are going to change. Like just because the cyclone or the tornado tears through the town and levels all the houses doesn't mean that the survivors, which you are, can't rebuild. Just because the cyclone tore the house down doesn't mean it can't be rebuilt better and more solid than it was before, you know? You are still very much in someone's energy. They feel you. They feel your growth. They feel your height, your energetic heights. They feel your growth. And it's pushing their curiosity, what it would be like, what it would feel like to grow. Let me know. Either way, guys, that ties up the moon event. Part 2. I will have timestamps in the first live and this one in just a bit for you. All right, so you guys can hop, skip, and jump around and fast forward to wherever you need to be. And I will see you replaying in divine time throughout 2025 and in divinely present moments throughout as well. All right. I love you all. What doesn't shatter you and destroy you only proves your strength. Until we next meet, Soul Fam, I love you all. Many blessings into the new year. Take care, everyone.